My name is Mad Skills, and you are now tuned into the Spark Something podcast. And right here, I want you guys to be the best version of yourself. I want you to live out the life that God is calling you to live out, because there'll never be another you. And no one else can do it the way that you can do it. Not with the flavor God has given you. So with that being said, welcome to the show. Let's go. Guys, what's going on, man? What's going on? We back with another episode. This is episode 16, bro. And I'm just remaining consistent in what God gave me. And I pray that He is pleased with me in everything that I'm doing when it comes to this podcast. I have been talking to you guys about my journey, about my interesting transition. And I want to thank you guys for not being judgmental. Um, it's crazy how me just talking about what I'm going through and the things that I'm dealing with and my growth and my maturity as I go through life, and how it's beginning to change my outlook on life, change my outlook on how I view people, how I view things, how I look at situations now, how I um, show up, how I answer questions, how I, am becoming this person that I'm becoming. And me being able to just share it with people who are willing to listen, I'm floored by the support and the love, and I I'm appreciative, guys. So thank you so much. And as I've been talking to you guys about my journey and my process and everything that's been going on, um, I got to talk to you guys about my week. Last week, actually, it was like Thursday. Last Thursday, I was home, and I've been doing this lately, where I've been um, affirming myself, and I'm affirming myself, and I'm saying things that I don't fully believe just yet, but the more I say them, the more I'll begin to see what I'm saying, the more I'll begin to convince myself that this is actually true. Because the crazy part about it is true. It's just life that has never been spoken to me by someone else. So I'm speaking life in myself. So the life that I'm speaking in myself is hard, because this is something that I've never done. So it's new territory for me. And with it being new territory, for anybody that wants to start affirming themselves and speaking affirmations to themselves, it is an amazing exercise to do. I recommend it for everybody. I've not only started affirming myself, but I've also started doing some meditation. Um, and I spoke to you guys about, my meditation process, but it's helping me to um, really quiet my thoughts. It's helping me to ask myself tough questions, and it's helping me to understand me. So I'm going through that process as well. And Thursday, I was home, and I was feeling kind of down. And I told you guys, I asked myself questions about, what have I been engaging in? What have I been listening to? What has had my eyes? What has had my ears? What have I been talking about? Who have I been around? What have I been around? What have I been exposing myself to? And sometimes I'm not always aware, but when I have that feeling of me feeling incomplete or me feeling inadequate, I I check myself. I have to reevaluate my whole self, and I've been learning to do that because I want to be a better person. I want to be the best person I can possibly be while I'm living this life, and I want to live a full and a whole life. So, in wanting to do that, I have to, check myself at the door. I have to drop my ego when it needs to be dropped. I have to, walk in integrity. I want to, be a genuine, kind-hearted person, but also be not be a yes man. I want to be a full whole person. So I ask myself tough questions, and I go on this rabbit hole of um when did I start feeling like this? Where was the last place that I was actually happy? Where was the last place that I was actually that I actually enjoyed just some peace and quiet? And I always have to go back. If I ever feel like I've lost my peace, or if I ever feel like I've lost, um my peace, I'm gonna say it like that because I can't really think of another word. But if I ever feel like I've lost, myself or a part of myself, then I always, backtrack. I retrace my steps. And I'm like, okay, well, if I can't figure out when was the last time I had it, can I figure out how I got it? For me, it's always spending some alone time with God. I do that a lot. Definitely, especially now. Me, it's definitely spending some alone time with God, which I did do that after I did this exercise. But it's spending some alone time with myself. I I'm learning to spend some time alone, and actually enjoy my own company. So Thursday, I was looking in the mirror at myself, and all of these thoughts came to my mind, and they were negative, just about, how I looked, how I felt in the moment, how I felt about myself, just all of the things that I remember hearing when I was teased growing up, or me just thinking things about myself that other people have said, or if you're into the whole, this is the body that a woman should have, and this is what it should look like, and people have these weird, thought process of this is what a person should look like, you know this is what perfection looks like. And if we spend our entire lives trying to reach for perfection, we'll never be happy. So in doing that, and me just getting back to social media, it's easy for me to start to compare my life and what I'm doing to what other people are doing on social media. And right now it doesn't look like I'm doing much, but I'm doing a lot of the internal work. I'm doing a lot of the work that's behind the scenes that doesn't always feel great. But in the long run, I'll be more at peace. I'll actually be happy in real life. And this is work that you probably can't post on social media. This is stuff that you can't tell everybody. Like, everybody doesn't need or should be a part of your healing or growing process. Some things, especially personal stuff, needs to be personal. You can't tell everybody everything. You can't trust everybody with every secret. You can't trust everybody with every little part of your life. Some things you have to leave to the imagination of whoever. But um so I'm standing in the mirror, and these negative thoughts come to my mind, and I begin to break down. I remember I started crying because they struck a nerve. And I remember hearing, I was actually on social media, and there was a reel that I came by, and it was talking about how people, um, they come up with these assumptions or these thoughts in their mind or these scenarios in their head that's negative, and then they take themselves, or they mentally like force themselves to be in this state of being down, or feeling low. And I never realized that I did that. I never actually realized that that was a part of me, but I caught it for the first time in my life. I caught it, and I was like, "What is this?" And then I thought about, I kind of, briefly thought about my childhood and my years as an adolescent, and I'm like, some of these things were thoughts that were conjured up in my mind, and they weren't even thoughts that I just thought towards myself. They were either things that were spoken to me, or there were things that, because not a lot of people spoke life into me, or I didn't know how to really love myself growing up. I was never taught how. And that's not like a bash or a diss to anybody that raised me or anything like that, or anybody that was a part of my childhood. Maybe they didn't know how to do that either. But I didn't know how to, fully love myself or fully engage in knowing how to love myself. So, of course, all the negativity comes because people compare you. Even as children get compared to other children, or just weird stuff. And it doesn't make you feel great. It tears down, your self-esteem. It, makes you rethink, and you're always second guessing yourself and second guessing your thoughts, and you never fully feel, you know, adequate. Like you never fully feel complete. You never fully feel like you actually can help, or you're actually the one, or you actually have some type of power, or you're good at you're just good enough. You never feel good enough. And I didn't realize that that's where my inadequacy, excuse me, stem from. And it took me back. So in that moment, I was in the bathroom. I closed the door, breaking down, crying, and I'm just praying to God. I'm like, God, this is crazy. But I remember asking God to show me things about me so that I'll be able to grow and to be the woman that I needed to be. And I realized in that moment that I'm not a victim. I realized in that moment that I can make the decision right now to transform my mind. I can make the decision right now to change the way that I speak to myself and about myself. And I can actually have those things be the things that fuel me and feed me. And those things be the things that actually help me to grow and to mature. So, um, I turned on some worship music, and um, I began to pray. I began to talk to God, and I began to remember the things that, God thinks towards me. And in the moments of feeling inadequate, I felt like that for like a couple days. And I've talked about my inadequacy, but one thing that I realized this time around was, because I'm starting to actually use the gift that God has given me to speak, the fight to stop has become so much more powerful. It's like once you begin to step into your purpose, a lot of people may not always tell you this, but once you begin to actually do the thing that you're called to do, please expect for there to be a fight. Expect that the enemy is going to fight you, because you can't do this and not think that you're just gonna be scot-free, like, oh, I'm gonna be able to do this and I'm gonna be good, be Gucci, I can just live my life and be free and be happy. Good luck. You're gonna have people that don't believe, and you're gonna spend the rest of your life either walking into your purpose and doing what God has called you to do, or you're gonna spend the rest of your life trying to convince people that you're good enough to do what God has called you to do. Either way, you got to make that decision. So, as I'm sitting in the bathroom and I'm praying and I'm crying out to God and I'm listening to my worship music, I'm just like, you know what, God, I know this is what you call me to do. The fight has never been so great, but because it is, because a lot of people will think, oh, because the fight is great, you're doing the wrong thing. That's not always the case. Sometimes you're actually right where you're supposed to be, and you got to expect to get fought too. You have to expect that the fight is going to come when you're walking into what God is calling you to do. And most of the time, it's going to be your mental first. Because the minute the negativity comes in, the minute the enemy can use the thoughts, the negative thoughts, the things that people have said, the things that you probably think about yourself already that you don't talk to anybody about, that start to spew up, that make you feel inadequate, you begin to see that he's been using the same tactics all along. But this time, God is going to reveal to you that he's been using the same tactics all along. And that's what happened to me. I've been afraid for most of my life. And I've never been so unsure of myself. Actually, I'm not even going to say that. I've always been unsure of myself because I've always felt like, okay, I could do this, but am I the one that's supposed to be doing it? And with that thought process, you don't fully give your whole self to this thing. You give just a little bit. Like you're doing just this much because it's like, all right, well, at least I'm doing it. But you haven't fully thrown your whole self into something because you're afraid that it might not work out. You're afraid that you might fail. You're afraid that somebody might say something and it actually is true. And you're like, okay, well, I can't really say anything against that. That's actually true. Who cares? Who cares? If God has called you to do it, who cares? If God said you're the one, who cares? If God be for you, who can be against you? Who cares? Because at the end of the day, once I got out of the bathroom and I, like wipe my tears, dry my face, my eyes are red and puffy. I looked in that mirror again at myself. And that's when I begin to speak life into me. And sometimes we have to encourage ourselves when nobody else is around. Like, I've been talking about my interesting process and I've been talking about the things that I've been enduring and going through, but this has been one of the quietest seasons of my life. Like, everybody is out doing whatever it is that they need to do with their lives. And normally I would feel like, dang, I need to show up for this person and do this and do that. And I'm just like, God, I hear you, I see you, and a lot of the times I'm not where you've called me to be because I feel like I'm supposed to be over here helping this person. Or I feel like I'm supposed to be over here doing this. And God said, this is your season to where I need your attention. I get it. The heart that I gave you is a blessing, but I need your attention. And in order for me to get your attention, I need you to step away from everybody. And that was one of the hardest things I had to do. But in stepping away, it's brought a lot of things into perspective for me. And stepping away, it's allowed me to see certain people for who they really are. And stepping away, it's allowed me to see that everybody's not happy for me. Even the ones that are closest to me aren't happy for me. And stepping away, it's allowed me to see that other people will find another way. They will find another way if you can't be the one, or if you're not the one that's there, they will find another way. Stepping away has taught me that. Stepping away has taught me that I deserve happiness and I deserve peace and I deserve love and I deserve joy. Stepping away from just life for a second. You don't owe nobody nothing. You don't have to do these things. But we put ourselves in this container to where we feel like we have to be everything for everybody. And this is me talking about me. And if you can relate, praise God for that. But putting myself in this box that I have to be this person for everybody. It's very seldom that I have people that actually pour into me. Like, I mean, life. Like, I mean, something that's going to change me. It's very seldom. And I don't allow everybody to do that. I can't allow everybody to pray for me. I can't allow everybody to speak life over. Like, I can't allow everybody to do whatever it is that they think that they can. God pulled me away, and I had to be obedient in this time. And in being pulled away and having to be obedient, I'm telling you, it's changed me for the rest of my life. I can't go back to the old version of me. I don't live there anymore. When you start to change and you start to walk into your purpose and you start to do the things that God is saying you have to do, you can't go back to your old life. You don't live there anymore. That's no longer your address. So the new life, or the life that you're supposed to be living, the life that you're called to live, trust me, the new address, it's a different journey. Trust me, you're not going to be the same person you are now when you get there. I'm changing in ways that I never thought that I would. Like, it still feels weird, but I know it only feels weird because it's new. But I don't feel like I'm in the wrong place. I hear God now more than I've heard him in my life. And that's because I'm actually listening. I'm listening. The distractions are gone. Like, I want to live whatever life that's mine. I don't want to miss none of my stuff, yo. I don't want to miss none of my stuff. Everything that God has called me to do, to be, to live, to say, the way he walk and talk, and I want all of that. And I'm not perfect. I'm growing every single day. But he's weeding things out. And he's showing me stuff, and I'm blown away by a lot of this. I used to walk around with heaviness and weight and feeling sorry for myself and being depressed and having anxiety and just a whole bunch of stuff, man. Like, every day you wake up and you go to sleep and wake up and go to, like, and you're still carrying this stuff around. The easiest thing I could say is, oh, let it go. Like, anybody could tell you to let it go. Letting it go is a process. Letting it go is not just easy, especially when you've been living with it for your entire life. It has become a part of you. I couldn't just drop that off. I'm dropping, like, I have to wake up every day and make the decision that I'm putting it down, and I won't pick it back up. I gotta wake up every day and make the decision of where I left it at yesterday. It's gotta stay there. Like, I can't pick that back up. And anybody that makes me feel like the old version of me, you can't be a part of the life that I'm living right now, because I'm healing and I'm walking in purpose. And that's me keeping it a buck. Like, you can't allow everybody in your space when you start growing. You can't allow everybody in your space when you start to heal. Everybody don't know that new version of you. You still getting to know the new you. You might have to reintroduce yourself to certain people. And you might have to leave certain people where they're at, and that's okay. And I've been saying that every single episode. But what I will say, because I do mention everybody not being able to come, and some of y'all might think, oh, you against relationships. I love people. Trust me, I do. And it hurts me to have to say that every episode, but I reiterate that because I have to remind myself that some people got off the ship before it sailed, and that's cool. I have to remind myself that I had to let some people go at the dock before I sailed, and that's cool. I had to remind myself that this journey is mine. This space and this place that God has taken me to, everybody can't go. Certain people, you're going to have to let them get off the boat before it sinks because they on it and they not supposed to be there. Some people you're going to have to let them get off the boat before the storm comes and it wipes the boat out because you got people on it that's not supposed to be there. You have to let some people get off the boat before you get to your destination because the person that you're becoming, they're not going to see that version of you. They're not going to see that. They're not going to care about your growth. They're going to remember you as the person that they knew from back in the day. I say that on almost every episode because it's so important. And I am a person that wants everybody that I have met in my entire life to be on this life journey with me. Everyone that I met, I don't want to let nobody go. I'm that person. But every day I wake up and I realize everybody ain't here. Some people have passed away, but the people that are still alive, a lot of them decided to walk away. Some people I had to stop talking to. Some people I had to stop picking up the phone for. Because I want peace. And they not always about peace. Certain people are about drama. Certain people are leeches. And if I'm saying this and you feel some type of way, you might need to check you. You might be the leech. You never know. And I'm not bashing anybody. I'm not trying to say, oh, this person don't deserve their own happiness. They do. All I'm saying is the work that you put in, everybody can't eat off that plate. Everybody can't eat from your table. Cause everybody they wasn't with you when you were shooting at the gym. They weren't with you. They just know you. Or they knew you. I was on Instagram, and I'm probably gonna butcher this, but it was a guy that was like, they know you, but they knew you, but they don't know the new you. Or something like that, he said. They knew you, but they don't know the new you. And sometimes they don't deserve that. So as I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I'm recognizing all of this negative stuff that's still there and it's coming up, and when I feel inadequate, I go to God about it because I ain't always do that, yo. That wasn't always my go-to. As I'm becoming and as I'm doing the internal work. And for anybody that's listening to this and you have not heard from me in a while, this is why. This is why. You know, I'm working on me. Like, I want to be happy in real life, not just social media happy. I want to be genuinely happy and at peace in my real life. I want to know me. I want to know me. And that's the work that I'm putting in. That's what I've been doing. That's what I've been working on. That's what all of this is for. Is me knowing me. I'm not the same person I was when I first started this podcast. I'm not the same person I was 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I'm not the same person I was a couple days ago. Like, I want something different. And me wanting something different, I got to do something different to get it. So I got up and I said to myself, even looking in the mirror before I even started, actually today, I'm going to say that today. I thought about it a couple of days ago, but I got up today, and I said to myself, out of all of those times of me holding on to stuff, carrying stuff, and feeling inadequate, I'm not carrying that around no more. That's dead weight. So when you start moving stuff out of the way and you got free space, you got room now to fill that space with something. My childhood, I couldn't make a whole lot of decisions about what I wanted to fill my space with. As an adult, I got options. I got options. Either I can let the child in me stand up and make those decisions, or I can make those decisions as a full blown adult. And I'm deciding that I want to be happy. The decisions that I'm making now, the child version of me would be ecstatic. The child version of me would be happy. So I'm working through those things. I'm also working through those things so I don't pass this stuff down to my own kids or anybody else's kids for that matter. I got godchildren. I can't do that. I want to pass none of my old broken pieces down. And I'm not saying that I'm going to be 100% like I'm going to have it all together. I'm probably not. But I still want to work at I want to work at it. I want to spend the rest of my life working to be better. Not beating myself up because I'm not, but actually understanding that this is who I am, and in this being who I am, me wanting to change some stuff and being able to make that decision to do so. Me seeing things that may affect others and me accepting that I'm not going to be perfect all the time. Me being able to express and talk about my feelings and my emotions and not harbor them and be like, oh, I don't want to be a burden to people. Like the thought process that I have now is I want to tell people the truth. I want to tell them the truth. Whether, they can handle it or they can't, it's off my chest. It's off my shoulders. I want to tell them the truth. And I'm working through some stuff. So I want to say thank you guys for allowing me to work through some stuff here. I want this podcast to be a safe place. And to be honest, I was thinking about this podcast a couple days ago, and I'm like, how I see this now is me expressing myself and being able to be open. And it's like a journal entry for me about things that I've experienced weekly through my growth, through my faith, through my walk through this journey called life. Being able to just express how I deal and what I'm going through and talk about God and be open about the things that I'm going through or the things that I've learned or the things that I'm starting to enjoy and new life and maybe some traveling and stuff like that, but allowing myself to be able to do what I wasn't always able to do, and that's be free. I had my voice taken away one time in my life, and from then on I promised I'd never ever allow my voice to get stripped again. And when I was in the bathroom, in the mirror, I felt it. I felt myself caving. I felt myself being silenced because of the thoughts that started to really swarm in and make me feel like I ain't the one. So from that day on, I've decided to wake up every day and command my day. Today is a good day because I say it is. Today is a good day because you say it is. Today is going to be a good day because I say it is. I'm going to be blessed today because I say I am. I am blessed today because I say I am. I am happy today because I say I am. No matter what it looks like, no matter what changes, no matter what comes and knocks you off your pivot, you are still you. I'm finding my happy place. And in finding my happy place, I'm going to be happy because I said it. I got the power to speak life or death in my life. And I'm choosing to use my voice to speak life. So thank you guys for allowing me to speak life. Thank you guys for lending me your ears one more time to be able to be open and express myself on this platform. It's a blessing and it's an honor to be able to do this. I want to say thank you. God bless each and every one of you guys. And I hope you found hope in this. And I've been smiling a lot more guys. A lot more lately. Like I've been laughing like from my soul, like those healthy laughs. I've been laughing a lot more. And it's not like surface level, like it feels great. So this journey has changed me. I'm excited. And I pray that the journey that you guys are on, if you guys have decided to go on your own journey, I pray you find peace. I pray you learn to fully love yourself and to hold on to you and to hope. I pray that God covers you every single step of the way. Because this world is an interesting place. But I'm just trying to spark something, guys. So, this has been another episode of the Spark Something podcast. My name is Mad Skills. And I hope this sparks something in your life. And I'm out. Peace, baby.